Give the call to the member for Cook.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. We just heard the member talking about how well this government's doing on energy and climate, how well they're doing, how much they're doing. They've got the national strategy on this, they've got the national EV strategy, the performance strategy, the energy strategy, how much they care about emissions and climate change. Well, all that effort, all that work in 3.5 years, emissions are barely down 1%. Doesn't that alarm you? Given your strategies, given the amount of capital, given the amount of energy you're putting into this, that our emissions are down 1%. Doesn't it alarm you that Tony Abbott lowered emissions more than you, that Malcolm Turnbull lowered emissions more than you? They didn't even serve full terms. That Scott Morrison lowered emissions 4 to 5 times more than you? Because I would be alarmed. Don't you question, is your policy actually built on a house of cards? That the last 3 Liberal Prime Ministers lowered emissions far more than you. Yes, take your notes, but it's true. Go and check it out and come back and explain to the Australian people why that's the case. Was Tony Abbott there during COVID? I'll take the interjection. Why did Tony Abbott lower emissions more than you? Why did from 2000 from whenever? Why did Malcolm Turnbull lower emissions more than you? Why did Scott Morrison lower emissions more than you? You've lowered them 1%.
Order. The Assistant Minister will resist. I cannot hear the member for Cook. Could you proceed, please?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. They have not lowered emissions at all. It's a pathetic record, and you've got a blank cheque. You said you haven't been asked a budget question. Well, here's one, and answer it. Tell us what the capacity investment mechanism is going to cost. What's budgeted going through? I'll take the interjection. Crickets. Australia, that's what we just heard. I asked the question, what is the capacity investment mechanism going to cost? This was the response I received. Well, that's not good enough, Australia. That's not good enough. You've got people spending blank cheques. You've got people actually flatlining emissions. You've got people who don't have any credible way to get to a 2030 emissions target or a 2035 emissions target. Well, Australia, we've had enough. And not only are we not getting anywhere near the emissions target, we are paying through the nose. Energy prices up 40%. Up 40%. In my electorate, I'm one of the few electorates that still has a few manufacturing businesses clinging to life. FJP Manufacturing, a local metal manufacturing firm that I go and visit. They've got declining revenues. They're hanging on. They're trying to manufacture. They're employing trade-skilled workers, people you should care about, that you at least pretend to care about, with free TAFE or whatever else you're virtue signalling on. Well, their electricity has gone up 25% last year and is going up 41% this year. Well, what's the message you have for them? With their electricity going up, I'll take the interjection. I will take the interjection. With their electricity going up 76%, what is the message you would like to give to them? Well, what about HF powder coating? Another company that's electricity is going up 46% this year and a 44% increase the year before on gas. What message do you have for these manufacturers? Where's your future made in Australia? Where's the help? Where is it? Where's your capacity investment mechanism? That's been my interjection of the day. What's the capacity investment mechanism going to cost? Do you have an answer? Of course. What is it? What is it? Oh, you don't have it. So why is this government deliberately driving up costs, strangling Australian businesses like FJP Manufacturing in my electorate, like HP powder coating? They don't have answers for them. They don't have answers. They have policies that are driving up the cost, and this whole energy strategy, this whole emissions reduction portfolio is built on a house of cards. It is built on a house of cards, and that is why every day right now in question time we listen to Chris Bowen. What's the only thing he talks about? His battery program.
Use the minister's correct title, please.
We listen to the Minister for Energy and Climate Change. I just forgot who he was since he wasn't here today. He can't even turn up to his own budget or appropriation hearing in the Fed chamber. Pathetic. Neither can the Minister for Energy. But we turn up there every day, and instead of actually talking about how emissions are going, instead of talking about what's happening to energy costs, all we hear about is how many batteries he's been able to sell because he's jacked up the energy prices in those electorates like it's some great achievement. Well, guess what? If you jack up energy prices 40% in 2.5 years, you're going to sell a few more batteries. That's not an achievement. It's something you should be embarrassed about.